Hey y'all, how's it going? I just wanted to kind of pop on here and say a couple things that have been in my mind pretty heavily the past couple of days and definitely today. Um, First of all, I'm so thankful for friends and people who are just willing to like put up with you, even when you know you're not being the best. Like, I think just shout out to all those amazing people out there. Um, but for me today, what I kind of want to talk about is just it's gender related, but it's not, and it's just in feeling like gaining self worth. And I have a lot of stuff going on right now that is, causing me to question things, realizations about my upbringing, and I'm not going to necessarily get into that, but realizations about that. I'm moving in about a month and a half to a whole new city, different state. It's my home state, moving back there. Still a little bit away from family, but that's okay. And my education will be ending here soon. This is my last semester of classes. After this, it's just like working, and it's just like a lot of ends. And we're in the Lenten season, and religion or not, I think there's a lot to be said about being in this Lenten season, this time of reflection and introspection. And so a lot of things have been going on. And with that, it's coming to like the surface of how little self-worth I really have. And that comes across in self-confidence too. And it's just so frustrating. Like, I feel like the person inside of me who is the real me and who wants to be this charismatic and full of life person that just inspires and brings joy to people. And I know that that's like not always the case. You're not like that 24/7. But I feel like that person is not available to the outside world. And that bothers me a lot because I want to be seen for who I am, and I want to be heard for who I am. And that has a lot to do with gender, and it has a lot to not do with gender. I just feel like I have these walls, and I guess any tips and advice from y'all on how you get through that and how you power through this period. But I really, like, I know that I'm doing great things, and that I am becoming the better person, like, with each day. It's like, every day I'm peeling back a layer and I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, seriously, like, it's so refreshing. But then there's just times when I'm like, and there's 3 more layers on that, and I thought I was making progress and I'm not. So, like, I mean, today I went to see a concert and it was great. It was truly fantastic concert. It was, musician. I'm not talking, popular music, I guess. It was some 21st century, I'm going to say, because we're in the 21st century kind of music with this woodwind brass. There was no brass. This mixed ensemble, about 6 players. And the first thing was just how amazingly in sync they were, and that just chemistry of being with people. But beyond that, it was this realization that, hey, some of these songs are out there, and I used to play out there music, but I was always so scared of improvising, and also being in the spotlight in a weird way. And by that I mean not in a prepared way, and also definitely not vocally. So some of these songs, they had pieces where they would like just randomly yell things. And I know that sounds out there. And I've been called on to play some of these songs before. And I've always just either half-assed it or really just not done it. Like, I felt embarrassed. And like, why? Like I was watching it and I was like, I could never do this. And I'm like, that's pathetic. You can't just say words on stage. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And it was like, it was a really moving time for me. I mean, the piece, one piece in particular was very moving for me, in ways that I would have never expected. You know, you don't go into a quasi contemporary and almost like has some groove jazz type things going concert and expect to be like moved by it. But it was just like, it's all because I just lack this self-worth of thinking that I'm good enough and I'm okay enough. And that is impacted so much by gender. And some of it is that grooming of, this is how females are supposed to act. And you should let people talk. You should let males always talk first. Your opinion doesn't matter. What you think doesn't matter. Like, it's just important that, the men speak. And I'm very anti that, obviously, but somehow I still pick that up and I have that internalized of, I should never be this person who has thoughts and feelings, and that's okay. And it's blowing my mind. It is a really hard concept to grapple with. And I know I have a lot to work on. And I guess that's just where I'm at. This is me being a little bit vulnerable and knowing that I oftentimes talk knowing the answer and knowing the solution, and am 3 steps ahead of where I am coming across as. But also knowing that that's okay. That's one of the things that I definitely realized tonight, and it's really hard, and I don't think I'm going to do very well with this, but that it's okay to not know. It's okay to talk and ask questions and say things if you aren't 100% confident. And for my entire life, I have been like that. And part of that has been upbringing. Part of that has been the countless years of higher education and schooling in general. This is what schooling teaches you, is that you go, you do your research, you figure it out on your own before you have those intelligent conversations and feel like you can bring anything to the table. And it is really, really kind of a hard place to be in right now with all this stuff going on. I feel like for the first time in forever, not to quote Frozen, but to quote Frozen, I'm being emotionally raw with myself and like allowing myself to be emotionally vulnerable, because I've always just had walls, and I have a lot of walls. And I'm not mad at myself for it, but it really sucks when I see that it's like taken away from some academic things and some like social things and some other aspects of my life. Not that I'm not doing well at them, but they're not where they should be, or where I always had them at that like higher level, because I'm really focusing on something completely different that is so far behind and that really needs to catch up to all of this stuff. And it's just really humbling and scary. And while I ultimately know it's worth it, it's just that daily grind is so hard. But I believe that it is all worth it. And I mean, if anything, with each passing day, it seems like I have an epiphany about, this is why I do this is why I am. And a lot of that is just so much rooted in this gender thing. And I'm excited to continue to explore it. And especially, I think my heart has led me to really exploring that in a physical transition. And I've been talking to people and being open with them. And it's, I think, really headed in that way, which is terrifying. but I've also never felt so sure of something too. I mean, when I first came out as gay, I didn't really talk to people. I didn't question. It was kind of a label that was thrown on me. And this is something that I'm owning, and that I'm okay with it. And I'm bringing up those topics with others. I'm not hiding from it. And that's just very strange and very exciting. And I really just, I guess I can only hope. And if praying is what you believe, or if thinking is what you believe, I can really only do that and believe that I am headed in the right direction. And I guess there's not a lot more to that. Your comments would be great on if you've gone through this. How did you deal with it? If you haven't gone through this, am I just crazy? It's very possible I'm crazy. I'm an INTJ. I know I'm very introverted. I'm this introverted extrovert. I'm a Leo. Check out the shirt. Totes Leo. And I don't know. That's where I'm at. And so I'll probably update something later this weekend, and we'll see what kind of other epiphanies I have, because they seem to be coming on the daily. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy Mercury in retrograde. Bye.